what human beings crave generically is a sense of security, a sense that relationships will endure, a sense that their culture has a future, and a sense that life has meaning. And all of those things have really collapsed amongst non-Muslims in the last 50 years, with the collapse of church attendance, for instance. In the 1950s, 60% of the population went to church on Sundays. Now it's about 3 or 4%. It's an unprecedented collapse. We've become one of the most secular countries on earth. And that necessarily produces an enormous crisis in people's souls, and they think that there is nothing after death, there is no meaning, there's no basis to the ethical decisions that they take. But the BBC programme also came to some other conclusions which have to do with issues of the way in which children are brought up. And the one thing that they did indicate was that psychologists believe that human happiness has a lot to do with the security that they felt when they were small children. And the thing that they pinpointed most consistently was the fact that even though on their sort of evolutionary model, the norm for the human young is to be brought up in the context of a family where the woman is primarily responsible for the nurturing of young children, that being the historic norm of our species. Increasingly nowadays, children as young as 3 and 4 are actually handed over to the state or to various organizations, and they may spend the entire day being looked after by employees, which apparently provides a deep sense of insecurity in children that is perpetuated in later life, because they don't have that deep sense of bonding with the mother who is genetically committed to their welfare. It's quite interesting, because that's very much against a certain type of sort of feminist orthodoxy that wants to free up women to go out to work and to allow childcare to be done institutionally. But nonetheless, they were forced to report on that, something that for the psychologists does seem to be objectively a reason why so many people are kind of insecure, so many teenagers rebel. There are suicidal tendencies amongst many young people, many young women cutting themselves, mutilating themselves, experiencing various dietary disorders because of this deep insecurity that apparently relates in large measure to the fact that as little kids they didn't have the absolute maximum security of being cared for all the time by their own mothers.